Hey guys, what's up, Zach? So today we are here with the next round of F1 2001 career mode, and the last one went down really well. I really appreciate that, guys, because it's always nice to see a new series get off to a really good start. And here we are in Malaysia for the second round of the season, and once again, if you do enjoy the video, liking the video does really help me out. But anyway, let's go on to this qualifying lap here in Malaysia. You can see we've already got a timing good enough for 4th place. That wasn't that lap I was just on, by the way. That lap included a couple of spins in going off the track, so that wasn't a good lap. But the lap before that was a good one, and I'm trying to better it on this lap, and obviously I do, because this is the reason why I'm showing you this lap, not the other one. But this lap seemed to be not that perfect, but it seemed to get the job done and get a decent lap time. It wasn't as good as Australia. I didn't really get that sort of really good result that I'd got in Australia, partly because it was sort of damp in Australia. I'm not too sure whether you noticed it in the video, but it was slightly raining in Australia. I sort of risked it by going out to start the session, which really did help, and that meant that not many people actually ended up going faster than me. But you can see here in Malaysia it's nice dry conditions, as you'd sort of expect in Malaysia. However, you have seen some really wet conditions from time to time, but I think generally it seems to be mostly dry around here. It's either like really dry or really wet in Malaysia. That's pretty much, you've got the two extremes. But yeah, luckily for me today, it was actually dry. So this is the part of the lap which I was a bit confused about. There's no sort of marker boards telling you like 50 meters to corner, for example, which there are on many other tracks. Actually, parts of this track as well. But it's just weird. Some corners do and some corners don't. And sort of as it was all really flat, it was kind of hard to judge my braking points, because I'm not sure whether this is correct or not, but back then obviously it must have been a lot harder to make sort of elevation in games, so going up and down seems to be a lot harder. So these tracks seem a lot more flat than they are in real life, and I'm assuming that's a lot down to the hardware that they had available to them, and obviously nowhere near as technically advanced as they are here today with F1 2014. But going out through the gears to finish the lap off here, you can see Barrichello's already put in a 39.1. We go across the line to do a 42.9. So overall, not terrible, really. So we skipped the rest of the session. We did 5 laps. You can see 13th place. Yeah, unlucky 13, not too good. We qualify ahead of Alonso. At least that's something. But yeah, so anyway, we'll just fast forward through this bit. This is the most annoying part about this game. I could be wrong, but I can't find a way to skip this bit of the race, and it was really annoying to me. But in a way, it's nice to just go through the order and see where everyone is, for you guys at least. And you can see he's going down the field. We're ahead of Alonso there, behind De La Rosa, and Alonso and his Minardi. He's doing pretty good, to be perfectly honest. And we look down the field. Look, there's a Lacey, once again getting demolished by me in qualifying. And towards the back of the grid, got Jos Verstappen, of all people. Max Verstappen's obviously in F1 next year. Jos qualifying at the back here today in Malaysia. So we heard there's a problem already, but lights out and away we go here in Malaysia. As I said, we heard something on the radio that one of the people had a problem, and I was like, who is that? And like, what car was it? And I wasn't sure. That's why I was trying to point out around the Jaguar, because I think it was what's his name, Eddie Irvine. I think that's who it was, and I thought that might be the car in front of me, but I guess it wasn't, because he got away fine. But yeah, I got a pretty good start this time, didn't I? All the way up from, was it 13th up to 6th. So in the first couple of corners there, looks like we had a pretty good start. And now trying to look down the inside of Barrichello. That's not going to work out though. We go on the grass trying to get around Barrichello, who sort of half spun it. I guess that's something of the AI that sort of happened quite a lot to them in this game. The AI always half spinning in this game. This was the part of the track, as you can see there. AI, how fast do you want to be, son? 2 seconds faster through there, pretty much. Barrichello was pretty much right in front of me, and now he's like over 2 seconds in front of me. I don't know how fast, or how they are so fast, I should say, but wow. Look at that, Barrichello just literally flying off into the distance there in his Ferrari. But then we go for a spin. A stupid little mistake there on my part, just putting the pad down a bit too early. We've got to spin it around now. We're dropping so many positions. We've ended up behind, I think, one of the Prost cars. Oh look, there's my teammate Lacey, and only Verstappen's behind me here. Lacey not really making it very easy to get past there, but I managed to get past once he gets held up behind Bernoldi, who went for a half spin. Trying to get past Bernoldi, but he's not being too easy to overtake here. It's in his arrows, but still, he's making it a tough job to overtake him here in Malaysia. Now, down this back stretch where you can get a lot of speed, but we haven't really got the slipstream here of Rinaldi, so we're not really gaining too much here. But one of my tactics in this game was getting it into first gear, and that really seemed to work out. So you can see here I've shifted down to first when probably everyone else is using second, and I get on the power earlier, I get the revs up, and the car just sort of shoots out the corner in a way. And look at that, a really good run off that final corner past Rinaldi before we even get to turn 1. And now we've got Luca Berti, I think his name is, or I'll just say Berti, but I think it's Luca Berti. And turn 1 then, Button, and we can look down the inside. No, there's a bit of contact there as Button. Maybe sort of shut the door at the last second, but Button very slow off the exit of the corner and running side by side as we've got Pedro Della Rosa in front of us here. And we've got past Button here. We can look down the inside Della Rosa. Yes, we are. We're being very bold with our overtakes here. We've got the overtake done on Della Rosa, and now making a move on Fisichella. And now we've got future world champion, 2007 world champion that would be, Kimi Räikkönen in front of us here, and we've sort of stormed our way through the couple of cars there, and now we've got what, nearly 3-second gap to the cars in front. And what's happened here? Räikkönen's maybe spun or something? I don't know, half spun, but look at that, cheeky from Fisichella, managing to get the move done and back past me here as I go back down the inside here. I love about this game, the AI just go for overtakes, they just don't care. If you're faster, they just dive it down the inside, which is really good to see. And yeah, so back up into P13. Obviously without our little spin, we'd probably still be up there in the points positions, but it's going to be a bit more of a challenge, this one. Malaysia never been a track I particularly enjoy. It's never been bad to me in a way, but it's never really been one of my best tracks, so I'll just say it's sort of an average race for me. But look at that, Michael Schumacher's got a 2.5-second gap over his brother Ralph. And where's Barrichello? Down in 6th place, 9 seconds off his teammate after 2 laps. So as you can see there, not a very good race so far for Rubens Barrichello, but he is rounding up at the points at the moment, and we're still way off those points. Not looking very likely for this race, but if we can sneak into the top 10, I still think that's a pretty decent result considering we dropped down to, I think it was 19th place on that first lap after our little spin. So we can see getting very close to Räikkönen here and shifting it down to first once again, getting a good run off the corner. Even though we'd slid through the corner before, we still got a pretty decent run off it, didn't we? And now looking past Räikkönen, sort of a half look there as Räikkönen defends the inside. And once again, what is with these sort of half spins? This car's going a bit too fast into the corner is what I think. AI thinking, yeah, we can get that overtake done, can't we? And then getting to the corner and realising they're carrying way too much speed. And that's why they sort of half spin, because they sort of shifted down the gears. And look at this, I think this is the moment. No, it's not the moment. Okay, maybe it's not, but Räikkönen was very aggressive. He was looking for his moves all over the place. I thought that was the place where he got the move overtake done on me. And no, it was there, wasn't it? There it was. He tries to stick his car up the inside at the last minute, and he didn't manage to get that done. But we sort of shut him off at the last second. Really, I'd already turned and committed to the corner, so there wasn't really much time to react once I saw him. Literally right to the left hand side. I didn't really have much time to react here. But you can see once again we got Alonso. He's doing a marvellous job, hasn't he, in that Minardi, which has had the 0 pace. If I remember correctly, it was the worst car on the grid back in 2001, and what Alonso did with it was pretty amazing. Even though he didn't really get the results, he was actually beaten by his teammate over the whole year. He did a marvellous job from the little bit that I had watched back in 2001. As we accelerate up to the start-finish line here, we've got about a second gap to Alonso and 2 laps to try and get past him. It would be pretty embarrassing to get beat by Alonso considering he's in a much worse car, but into turn 1 we brake incredibly late and nearly actually take the back wheel off Alonso there. And trying to get past him, no, that's not going to work out. So once again use our first gear technique, and look at that, just flying up through the gears, and a really good move once again Alonso. And look at that, already pulled out a good couple of attempts on him, and now we've got Panis in front of us, who, let's be honest, he isn't in a great car either. Remember correctly, he's in the BAR, I think, and he isn't in a great car. We have a better car than him, so we probably can overtake him, but he's got, what, nearly a 3-second gap. It goes up through this sector, as I explained earlier, and I wouldn't be surprised if we don't catch him here, because all in honesty, he's probably got the pace on us throughout the whole lap to keep that. But you can see through this part of the track here, we close up quite a bit, don't we? I'm not too sure whether it's just under braking, but we seem to close up quite a bit through this last sector here, at least in certain areas of the last sector, sliding a little bit wide there. But you can see we've got about a second gap to Alonso, so we definitely do have a good amount of speed here. But it's whether we can really catch up to the back of Olivier Panis, who has that big margin in front of us, obviously, and if we keep making little mistakes like that where we drift a little bit wide, it's not going to be good for us. And now as we accelerate up through the gears and looking for a chance to just get every tenth of a second possible, but when you don't have a car that close to you, like in front of you for example, it's hard to chase them down. Let's say they're about a second and a half, 2 seconds in front of you, it's a lot easier to chase them down because you've got them right, sort of pretty much right in front of you. But especially on this game, when the cars sort of disappear, if they're ahead like 2.5 seconds in front of you, they sort of just disappear. So that's why you'll see throughout the series cars disappearing and then reappearing as a sort of half spin there down into turn 1. Didn't actually lose as much time, surprisingly, but yeah, that's unfortunate for us once again. But yeah, anyway, what I was explaining earlier about the cars disappearing and then reappearing, basically that's the reason, because I think it's just that the render distance or whatever in this game isn't too great, so the cars reappear, disappear, all that sort of stuff. Hopefully you guys don't really care about that too much, but that's just what the game is like. And look at that, a nice couple of tenth of a second taken out of Panis in that first sector there here, but once again the part of the track where we're not too good at. And what's happening here, quite a lot of smoke in front here, and I think Panis, you can see by the gap, he's gone off the track, and Panis is very, very close in front of us here. Now, are we going to look for a move? Well, we're going to brake extremely late here, and oh no, another embarrassing little mistake there. And I don't want to keep making up excuses, but I looked back at that again, and I was like, well, that's a lot sillier than the one in Australia. The one in Australia was pretty much not my fault, because I had no front wing in the first place. That's why I hit David Coulthard. But this one was a lot more my fault. I just shifted down the gears a bit too fast. I sort of outbraked myself a little bit. And yeah, basically just going into the corner a bit too fast, and I ended up crashing into Panis there. So sorry about that. I'm not going to make a habit of crashing into people and losing my front wing, but as I said, learning the game and experiences like that will help me learn in a way. But yeah, we weren't going to ever get points after our spin on lap 1 anyway, so going to come through the final corner here in 12th place, and Raikkonen in front, Fisichella behind. Really an average result here for us in our Jordan, and what, 10 odd seconds behind Frentzen in 8th. Right, that's not points, is it? 6th is points. But so yeah, way off any points anyway. So I wasn't really expecting them after our spin. So yeah, guess who goes and wins the race? Mr. Schumacher. Nice to see him in his red Ferrari going around the track extremely fast. But yeah, we can only dream of being in a race-winning car at the moment. Jordan not really suited to Malaysia at all. It wasn't too bad in Australia, as explained earlier, but not really the best track for us there. And Panis still finished the race after I took his rear wing off, but yeah, he finished last. Irvine, I think, retired before the race even started with an engine failure. So yeah, I'm not going to make a habit of crashing into people, guys. I'm just sorry. It was just another little mistake, which ended up being a... Well, actually, it was really my sort of first big mistake of the season, really. And it ended up me losing my front wing, and obviously Panis losing his rear wing. So sorry about that, not intentional, but it is what it is. But yeah, once again, Michael Schumacher going getting the win. He's got 20 points now. He must be way ahead of everyone else in the standings. Overall, not really that many surprises in the top 6. It's Ferrari, two Ferraris, and 2 McLarens and 2 Williams in the top 3. So yeah, you can sort of see which are the best 3 cars, can't you? It's going to be hard to break that mould throughout the whole season, but Heinz-Harald Frentzen and his Prost in 7th place, not too bad whatsoever, but you can see nearly a 10-second gap from him, from Barrichello to him, so you can sort of see there's quite a big difference there, but still not too bad in the standings. And where are we? 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Yeah, we're 6th. Okay, I just had to count it out. I didn't, because you don't have the little like what position you are in, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, so we are 6th, which is good, and also the team still only on 2 points because obviously my teammate hasn't scored. But yeah, that's it again, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Until next time, it's been Axman here. Goodbye.